Nike finally came through. They finally dropped a Caitlin Clark commercial that treats her like a superstar. Is it 2 years too late? Absolutely. But here's the thing. They did some really cool stuff with this ad. A ton of Easter eggs that are giving fans hope that maybe 2026 is the year they go all in. And with all the craziness going on around the CBA right now, the WNBA is going to need it. This is a short video and there's a lot of cool stuff to go through. Let's get into it. But first, like this video if you loved the ad and drop a comment if you think Nike waited too long. So it's no secret that fans have been frustrated with Nike. They've had the biggest star in women's sports in their portfolio, their sales have been in the tank, and what do? Not much. For 2 years, Caitlin Clark has been sitting on the marketing bench while other players got their signature shoes that they knew weren't going to change their financial fortunes. Then earlier in 2025, Nike finally unveiled the Double C logo with the promise of a signature shoe line coming in spring 2026. But fans were still skeptical. Teasers are great and all, but they were waiting for the big ad that would prove they value Caitlin as the international star she is. And now they've finally done it. They dropped their From Anywhere ad on Christmas Day. Primetime, one of the biggest advertising days of the year, right alongside NFL and NBA games. That's the kind of placement you give to your top-tier athletes, your icons, your MJs and LeBrons, and fans are loving it. Why? Because Nike did something really smart. They made it feel like the classic Nothing But Net commercial with Michael Jordan and Larry Bird back in the day. Who can forget Jordan and Bird playing horse, taking increasingly ridiculous shots, going back and forth with the trash talk? It's one of the most iconic sports ads of all time. And Nike essentially recreated that energy with Caitlin. Everyone keeps asking, hey Caitlin, can you make it from there? And Caitlin keeps backing up and draining threes from further and further away. By doing this, Nike created a GOAT-level association without ever saying it out loud. But here's where it gets even better. Because Nike didn't just make a cool commercial. They packed it with Easter eggs that show they actually understand Caitlin's story and what fans care about. Let's walk through them. First, the outdoor setting. This isn't shot in some sterile gym with perfect lighting. It's outside, on blacktop, in a driveway. That's where Caitlin actually grew up playing. It's authentic to her roots. Small town Iowa, grinding on outdoor courts. Nike could have gone glossy and corporate. They didn't. And fans noticed. Next, we have Caitlin's college coach, Lisa Bluter, making an appearance. And it's not random. She shows up at the 22-second mark of the ad. Obviously, Caitlin wore number 22 at Iowa, as she does with the Fever. That's intentional. That's respect for where she came from. But what's cooler is that she's standing at the spot, where Caitlin broke the NCAA all-time scoring record. It's one of the defining achievements of her college career, and Nike made sure to honor it visually. Then there's the tagline, From Anywhere. This works on 2 levels, and it's really smart. First, Caitlin shoots from anywhere. Logo range, half court, doesn't matter. If she's got space, it's going in. But symbolically, it means you can make it from anywhere. Small town Iowa, overlooked markets, non-traditional paths. It's aspirational, it's empowering, and it fits her story perfectly. And then there are the cameos. The Kelsey brothers, who interviewed Caitlin on their podcast. Michael Che, who sat next to Caitlin on Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update appearance. And Travis Scott, who was there when Caitlin set the new D1 scoring record. These are people from different worlds. NFL, music, comedy, all asking Caitlin the same question. Can you make it from there? The only way they could have topped this is if they had Taylor Swift. That would have broke the internet. Anyway, all of this reinforces the idea that Caitlin's appeal isn't niche. She's not just a WNBA story, she's a cultural story. And then there's the song Boys Want to Be Her by Peaches. The lyrics say it all. Girls want to be her, boys want to be her. That's the Caitlin Clark effect in one line. She pulls in everyone. Nike knew exactly what they were doing with that choice. And maybe this wasn't intentional, but they chose a song by a Toronto artist which may be a nod to her international appeal, especially as the WNBA expands into Canada. But they certainly intended to do this. There are Cantonese subtitles included in the ad. That's 100% a nod to Caitlin's global fanbase. And this is what the haters don't seem to get when they keep saying her fans are only from the Midwest. She's got fans worldwide. I mean, remember the Brazil preseason game? Her opponents were taking selfies with her like she was Jordan. Because in women's basketball, she is. And Nike acknowledging that, even in a small way, shows they understand her reach goes way beyond the United States. And all of this is giving fans hope that 2026 is going to be all Caitlin. Full rollout, signature shoe in spring 2026, national commercials, global campaign, the works, and honestly, the WNBA is going to need it. Because right now, the league is going through an absolute PR dumpster fire with the CBA negotiations. The fans are turning on the players for rejecting a deal beyond their wildest dreams just a few years ago, and putting the 2026 season at risk. I'm not gonna lie, this is my first video in a month because I've been so annoyed with the whole thing. This ad gives me hope heading into 2026 and reminds me that there's something worth watching. Speaking of watching, thank you for watching my videos and supporting the channel throughout 2025. I really appreciate it and hope we have a lot more positive stuff to talk about in 2026. So drop a W in the comments because you're a winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.